Something in the fucking water.
In the fucking water. That's what
What's up in
happens when they let us be alone to
Something in
ourselves.
the fucking water. Oh man. Welcome to another episode of Gunplagoon and the Goonies. -2. We miss you, Muggs. We miss you, Steve. Steve's camping somewhere. I hope something's not in the fucking water in her hand.
So yeah, dude. Steve, look out for extraterrestrial morphing xenomorphs.
It's that scary now. I don't want to fucking go in the woods, bro. Fuck that. But you know what? Me and Goose are bringing you something proboscis-y, something Romulus-y, something that, I don't know, like, this is, like, we could do this more often. Like, I like this shit. Like, we already do Goonies, like, movie nights, drop in the Discord, come through. We do cool shit there. But we did an Alien marathon in honor of Goose loving Alien and Alien Romulus dropping. So, Goonies bring you fucking Alien Romulus, something's in the fucking water review.
So it'll be the fucking water, and this is I guess early on full spoiler review, just so nobody treads any further.
Yeah.
We're going all in. You're gonna see the whole process go down. So,
Goose, you're our fucking Alien expert, bro. So I'll let you take charge. But like, I gotta say, I don't know how I feel about this Alien movie
overall, or just.
I mean, comparing it to the other two that we've seen, you already know my boy David, my boy Walter, shout out to the homies.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it, but, like, Andy was the key. I don't care what no one says. Fucking Andy was that man. Andy was that man.
Dude, he was definitely the star of the show. It seems like, to me, for sure, that, like, synthetics end up being some of the... I mean, the first movie, Alien, not so much, but some of the other movies, the synthetics, like, really do show, like, some really good, like, personalities. So especially Michael Fassbender. He's super, super incredible as David and Walter. So I'm definitely there with you on that one. And Andy in this movie, for sure, I feel like, took
the way he
whole,
flipped the like, dude, that was scary. I was kind of like, oh, like, that's scary.
My man, what's going on, bro? Hey, what's up? You switching up, dog? What's happening?
Bro said, I have a new directive. I was like,
well, I think now we're gonna do this now. But I mean, yeah, I mean, just diving in, like, I feel like to start off, it's good to say that, like, you can be a fan of Alien and go see this movie, and I feel like there's some you'll find, you come out with something, of course, and then if you're not even a fan, there's just as like a standalone movie. If you're not a fan, definitely a good watch. There's something like there's something here. Watch. Yeah, like it takes something from every movie and it touches on it, but you don't have to like really know to just kind of watch it and be like, okay, just kind of get a feel for them.
I just gotta say, fuck that lady in the beginning, bro, who fucking just upped the hours, like, just violated.
Yo, okay, so, yeah, so the movie Romulus is, it's set in between the first and second Alien movie, and I mean, kind of to play through, and I guess we could try to, we could talk about it as I go through. So if there's anything you want to talk about, you totally jump in if I miss something.
Hell yeah.
So we start off, super cool. It's a shot of a ship, unmanned ship, just drifting through, and it stumbles upon the wreckage of the ship from the first movie. And what they do from there is they find some kind of like rock boulder meteorite that they're looking for. They pick this thing up, they take it back. Next thing you know, you see a room full of these dudes. They got this giant laser. They cut this thing in half, and it separates in half. They take the bottom part away, and then they give you an undershot of the thing they cut in half, and it's got an imprint of an alien, and that is the alien from the first movie. At the very end, Sigourney Weaver, she shoots it with a harpoon, and supposedly on this harpoon there's a tracking device, and so I guess when this thing is in space, it has such a good defense that it can, create like a pupa or a cocoon around itself to protect itself from outer space and shit like that. And then
this shit is creepy.
It's crazy, man. That's some crazy stuff. So then, yeah, we end up on the I don't know the name of the planet, but it's the planet with all the kids that they're on, where they're working for Weyland-Yutani. There's like a bunch of mines and stuff like that people work in. It starts with Rain and her quote unquote brother Andy, the android, and yeah, she's worked for the company, I guess, long enough, so she goes to talk to, I guess, an office person, you know, an
Social
administrative person.
services.
Yeah, you know, just try to get her, try to get something figured out with her time and stuff like that. And like she had to work over the required hours that she needed to, and the lady's like asking her all these questions, and she's like, what about this, what about your parents? And she's like, my parents died, and like all this stuff. And she's trying to get off the planet to go to a planet that's better than this one, because it's like I said, people are mining and dying in these mines and stuff like that, and you can't see the sun. It's like cloudy all the time and storming and stuff like that. So she dreams to go to a planet that's like a plant, like a, they grow a bunch of food and stuff there for people and stuff like that. But yeah, she's talking to the lady. Yeah, the lady's like, nope, we need you.
Yep.
Too many people have been dying, and dude doubled her hours. So it was like another 5 or 6 years before she could leave. And it was like, no. And then, as she's like getting this bad news, like these little kids are beating the crap out of her little android brother, so she's got to go rescue him and put a damn PlayStation 2 memory card to his neck and fucking reset my man because he's fucking tweaking.
He's fucking tweaking the cartridge, bro. Listen, that shit had me. I know I wasn't supposed to laugh, bro, but my man really had a factory reset. That shit had me weak.
Listen, if people don't think that shit would happen, look at what people do now to the Boston Dynamic robots. Y'all be kicking them shits, and so y'all would definitely do that to a robot that looked like a person, especially a bunch of kids. I don't give a fuck.
Bro, now they're talking about it, bro. It was so funny when they go to like visit the other group of kids. And like homie just starts getting bullied immediately by something's in the water. Just straight up getting bullied by this man.
Yeah. So once Rain pretty much gets her brother started back up, she gets a message. I can't remember this guy's name, but I know that everybody else's name. But she gets a message from somebody telling her to come meet them, and she goes and shows up at this ship. There's a couple of people there. We meet Bjorn. We meet, I forgot everybody's names. Everybody else's names. I know we got like Isabella Merced is one of the actors of one of the characters.
Oh, okay.
That's the one that is pregnant and stuff like that. And then I can't remember the other two. And we got Bjorn and stuff. But yeah, pretty much they're all together, like, because they have this ship. They got this signal, like from the day before or whatever, of what seemed to be a Weyland-Yutani ship that was decommissioned or something that was just drifting. Yeah. And what they found out on this ship is that there's these cryo tubes, and the reason they wanted, like, they were worried about these cryo tubes is because they need them to travel to the planet Yaga or whatever, Yavaga, because that's where Rain wanted to go mostly. But it's a 9-year trip. So you can't make that trip without the cryo tubes. So basically, they're like, we're gonna go break in and get these things. And she's like, well, what do you need me for? And they need Andy, because Andy, since he is a Weyland-Yutani synthetic, he is able to get them inside the ship and stuff like that, and talk to Mother, which is the commander of most Weyland-Yutani ships.
Bro, and the Bjorn hates this man. Like, Bjorn straight up, dude, like, treats 100%. Andy like shit.
Like shit, yeah, because in that first scene where they all, like, meet up to talk about it, he's just a pure dick to Rain and Andy and stuff, dude, the whole time. Like, he's not even your real brother, he's a synthetic, da-da-da. So they leave. Homeboy's like, sorry, my cousin's such a douchebag, and stuff like that. He's like, well, we're trying to get out of here. He's like, you won't even have to get off the ship. It'll take 30 minutes. Whatever. Well, that's later. But
low-key, though, like, we were talking about this off camera, but, like, the relationship dynamic was very weird.
It's very weird because, I mean, Rain and the other main guy.
You can tell they were together. Ex.
I should have my notes together. They were, they at some point in time were like ex-boyfriend and girlfriend. Right. And then Rain and Andy are like quote-unquote brother and sister.
And she says that. And then
Bjorn is cousins to
Rain's ex.
Right, yes, because he says that. Sorry, my cousin's a douchebag. And then you have Isabella Merced's character. She is that's pregnant. She is sister to the guy that was the ex-boyfriend of Rain. And then you have Aileen Wu's character, and she, I guess, is the girlfriend of Bjorn.
Right, because once you get further on, he's freaking out. Like
Yeah, when it comes to her, yeah, he seems to freak out like that's like his girlfriend, and that's the most important thing. Yeah, we get to that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so they pretty much, she agrees because she's like, yeah, I don't want to be on this planet, and like, might as well, if we don't do it, we're gonna be stuck here anyway. So they go ahead, head out. The six of them,
Look,
you know.
I gotta say though, for kids to pilot a ship like that, that was kind of like impressive. Like to me, it felt like it wasn't like unrealistic. Like if like these kids are working for Wayne Utani, so they obviously know how to like handle these. Like,
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
it
their
felt
parents
very
probably did.
yeah, exactly. So it's like that was cool to see, and it was like it felt like you said, as we progressed more, like shit was going smoothly. Shit was kind of going smooth, low key, like, and as all alien movies do, shit went left field.
Yeah, they got up there pretty much. They got in without any problems. They found the
Mm-hmm.
cryotubes without any problems. Shot them out to the ship. Nope, everything's going smooth up until they
Yep.
get to. They find out that the cryotubes only have 3 years. They need 9 years. So they use this little scanner. They find, but dude, also hold on really quick. One of the dopest like zero gravity moments at the beginning, and that kind of made me sick at first at the movies. But so they pretty much they find where there's more cryo
Right.
juice, I guess cryo freeze. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Yeah, cryo freeze sauce. So they find the room where this is at. It's marked cryo lab.
Yep.
I don't know about like situational awareness or like paying attention to details or like reading the room, I guess is a good thing to say. Like, when you walk in, like, checking a place out of what's in where you're at, when you're taking
Why are
something
we going
from
in
it.
here? Right.
What's in here where we're going is a better way to phrase that question. So like, yeah, fucking go into this place. Don't check anything out really,
Nope.
other than where to get the stuff. They it's like a room with water in it and stuff, but the door's all
Which is
fucked up.
questionable. Questionable
Yeah,
as fuck.
questionable
Like,
as fuck. Like it's all flooded. Which why would it be flooded? It's a
Yeah,
cryo room. If it should be cold, you would think.
Mm-hmm.
And then like you said, the doors fucked up too because it's like it will open so much.
Yeah. Bjorn fucking fucks up his hand too.
Yeah, he fucks up his finger while they're taking it off. It's like I'm guessing it's like fucking not Freon, but whatever Freon,
Nigga
whatever
got
fuck
Freon.
Freon. Hey, refrigerant or some of them freeze your fingers. So yeah, and then when they do this, there are these pods on the walls with these face huggers in them. They all,
Bro. There was so many.
What happens once they pop the tubes, alarm goes off. They can't get the door open because the door shuts because they're taking the cryo stuff and it's causing the face huggers to melt or thaw or whatever. So what in this room that they pass, there's like the synthetic that's been burned. They take this chip out of his neck and give it to Andy through the door, so this way he can upgrade and have the credentials to open the door. While this is all going down, and Andy's just kind of standing there resetting. All the pods just start, all the the face huggers are falling out and going through the water. Yeah, we get a super cool sequence of that. That's probably one of that whole stretch of that like encounter with the face huggers is probably like some of the
They're
super
so detailed.
creepiest. Dude, it's so cool.
Because you don't really get
looking.
to see them unless they like get on someone, do their face hugger duties, and then just like die off, and like that's it. But like even we'll get later on to it. Like it was crazy to see like it survived like face hugging someone and then like fighting back.
Because it was premature implantation, but it's still because usually it'll implant and then it'll die on its own. It stays attached to ensure that the whole process is complete. Since they removed it sooner, it was like still in a state like how she woke up as well, because she wouldn't have woke up panicking like that if it was normal.
You're
Usually
right.
they
They wake up like oh shit, like
hey,
what's
what
going
happened?
on?
What just happened? Like
You're
hangover
right.
and some shit.
She fucking woke up frantic as shit.
Yeah, panicking. Yeah, so it's that's where he said she had an odd of 60-40, the synthetic when they brought him back to life. But dude, Andy, when he boots up, dude, and he goes smart guy android, because he just grabs that face hugger dude from behind him and chucks it, and then like. He's just like, yeah. He's like, this is what it's doing. Da 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 da. Homeboy's like, who the fuck are you? He's like, I'm a da-da-da-da-da-da android. You guys call me Andy. And he's just like all upgraded
He
and
was
stuff.
the best one, bro. I'm sorry.
Dude.
That was the vibe. I loved him, bro. Because
That
it was
swap.
just,
Yeah.
he didn't know what, like, he said it. I didn't know what it was, but I know enough to be like, yo, like,
Yeah,
this is
what
the
it's doing.
logic. Like, this is the logic we got to follow behind it.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, it's even cool how he even says later on, like, you know, like my knowledge databases have not improved with this upgrade, you know, that I've gotten from this chip and stuff. And so basically he's an android that Rain's dad found and like programmed to be like a brother for her, and he was like already malfunctioning and shit. That's why she has a PlayStation 2 memory card or whatever to reset him up. Basically, once he gets upgraded, his directive is changed from like doing what's best for her to like what he has to do for Weyland-Yutani, because now he's upgraded and he has this chip inside of him, and now he's a synthetic. So him and the other synthetic one they bring back to life, which is like, you know, a guy from the first movie technically, but it's like a deep fake or whatever. That's like the worst part of the movie, like the CGI of his face talking and stuff like that. That's like one of the worst parts of the movie, like how it looked for me. But like once you kind of watch it a little bit, you get settled in and you're kind of like whatever, you know, you just enjoy it for what it
when
is.
he was behind the screen and shit, when he was like basically like on some like Fallout TV type shit, like in the back, it's like, this is what I need you to do.
Yeah. That is 100% some Fallout shit, dude. You're not wrong on that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he pretty much convinces Andy that like they have to complete the mission of what was, you know, the space station of Romulus and Remus, which were two separate nodules together into one giant, you know, space station. And that's where they found out the whole space station itself is drifting towards a giant ice ring that's formed around the planet, and it has like 36 hours before it impacts with the ice ring. All right, so once everything goes down with the facehuggers and Chick gets the thing on her face and they take it off, you know, like, you know, Ian Holmes and, you know, talks to Andy and stuff and tells him, or Rook is his name in the movie, tells, you know, Andy like, hey, you gotta, you know, watch out for these humans because they're not, you know, they're not rational and stuff like that. They'll do things.
Not. It shows throughout the whole fucking movie.
It shows, dude. Because they're just a bunch of kids. They don't know what the fuck's going on. They're just trying to steal shit. They have no idea what the fuck any of that is. So homegirl, once she wakes up and she's pregnant, Andy's like, we can't let her back on the ship because her odds are too bad of whatever could happen. And that's when Bjorn, he fucking found the cataprod earlier and he fucking zaps homeboy and it throws him because he's trying to stop homegirl. They run back to the ship. Pregnant girl's still on the ship. You got Bjorn and Aileen Wu's character. They made it back to the ship, and Andy's trying to get to them. Well, she has the whole process of the chest burster come out, and while this happens, she kicks the controls to the ship. The ship the Corporland, the ship they used to get to the Romulus and Remus, and they drift into a fuel post, and that causes the space station or the whole station, you know, Romulus station, to start drifting towards the ice ring, and it goes from 27 hours to like 40 something minutes, like 47 minutes.
Drastically changed,
dude,
very quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
I at least would have like prefer like an hour kind of thing, because it just like it felt like so like the pace was crazy. Like for everything for what they had to do, like you had to like follow Andy's direction, and then from there you still had to like navigate to get to his sister or whatever the case may be, because she was still alive after the whole situation, which was very interesting.
Yeah, because they crashed the ship into the docking bay and stuff, and then that's where it escapes, and then the chestburster escapes, and then it makes a cocoon on the wall. Bjorn is a dumbass, and he stabs it with an electric prod, dude. That's where he gets hit with the thing. Bro. But dude, seeing acid like do that for the first time to a person, they've never shown it like that. With detail, my homeboy's like melting and shit, and he dies there.
Like, that's what I would have like preferred. Like I feel like we've seen it before, where it's like people survive the acid kind of thing, where it's like this thing ate through metal. Like if it's going through human flesh and bone, we're done. Like dude, 100%.
Yeah, no, not at all.
And like as soon as it hit his chest, I like how it like he took his like he dipped into it. Yep,
Yeah.
it was it. That was it. You know, it hit a vital organ of the heart, and it was just done.
Yep. It was a very good representation of how it would actually happen, as opposed to like in some of the other ones, it was like,
Yeah, bro, it was like melting, like
but we're
you're
still
alive.
gonna go. Yeah, no, dog, you fucking done for. Yeah, so after that, that's where she, Isabella Merced's character, like, that's where it's behind her. They're trying to get the door open, and Andy's like, I can't open the door. That's what it wants, and that's where it takes her. Yeah, and then they pretty much have to run past, all these facehuggers. They're trying to get
I want to talk about the drop, though, bro. When Shorty fell off the fucking shit.
Oh, dude, yeah, and she had to crawl away. Oh, dude, yeah.
Oh, my God. And I think you were bringing it up, like how you saw, like, the xenomorph dragging the bodies. Like, I've never was bro, like, that shit was gross. Like, that shit was gross as fuck. Looking. Like, he was just collecting them shits.
Yeah, because I don't know if they eat or not, but I would assume that they do. They gotta eat something because, like, gotta eat something. I fucking eat something. Because typically they don't take the bodies unless they're not, not dead, so if they're viable. But yeah, True. Like. We saw the cocoon. That was the very first thing we've never seen before. And then, the dragging of the bodies away. That was something new. Because, the most you ever see is they kind of, like, in the old movies, come down and grab them and go, wee. And then that's like it. You're like, what the fuck?
Take them up. Shit.
Yeah, like some zip line shit, like, what the fuck?
Batman.
A dude in a suit. Yeah, So, they make it through all these facehuggers. And Andy's like, showing that he's like, yeah, I just got to do this shit for the company. They're trying to make it to a certain place. They get to the place. That's where they get the Zeta one, which is basically where the guy tells them they found the xenomorph. They did testing on it. The xenomorph was still alive. It killed everybody on the ship. But they found through the xenomorph's blood, they found what is something similar to the pathogen, aka the black goo from Prometheus and Alien Covenant and stuff like that. So there's like
that shit confused me. She like lived for so long because Shorty got pierced crazy. Got pierced crazy. I thought she was done for. You dropped like that, so you already had the aborted syndrome. Then you got pierced crazy. She had like the longest lifespan out of any character I've seen.
It probably didn't kill her or try to kill her, but saying it still got her.
I wonder if like it knew she was like pregnant. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like that shit is instinctual. Like, that shit knows. Like,
oh, no, that's usually more so the predator, but more than an alien. Aliens typically kind of don't care with that. Now, if you have a chest burster inside of you, the alien will not harm you.
Real? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's what happens in Alien 3. That's what happens in Alien 3.
That makes sense, though, because it probably has a scent. It's probably smelling it on you like a more primal type shit.
Yep. And they also won't hurt you when they know that there's like a facehugger can be there to, continue that process. Because that's what happens with her in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't attack her, and then she looks and she sees it, and that was it keeping her there for that to occur.
That's some creepy smart shit.
Yeah, that's where it was showing off some different stuff. Dude, it's got some great effects. We see once they get down there, homeboy dies, her ex-boyfriend dies, trying to protect her. Once they get the sister thing, they give dude's sister, Isabella Merced's character, the pathogen, and send her up back to the ship and tell her to go to the ship and wait there. And then Andy is all messed up, so Rain goes back for Andy, and then that's when they get locked down there. They can't get out. That's when they cut to the zero gravity, and then they kill all the xenomorphs in the zero gravity. Which is
really
cool.
was trying to go. She was trying to take number one like female role. I'll give it to her for that because she was out here. I was like, oh, that was hard. I was hard.
It was cool. It was cool. She marked a bunch of Xenos. Now, the problem I had with that was the scene when they're going through and they're like dodging all this acid blood. Where are the bodies? There should be like a body or two of a xenomorph drifting around that they gotta like kick out the way, or maybe think they think it's gonna grab them or something. Maybe it's like
that should creep me out with the leg. That one was like that main one though. Bro was out here. Bro was hunting. Like that shit was crazy. How like just vicious that shit was. Like it was relentless. I feel like that was the same one. I feel like that was the same one that burst out that chick's chest. That was like, I'm on your ass.
Oh yeah. That was the same one through the whole thing. Yeah, from the one that got on Alien Woo that came out of her chest that was in the pod that killed Bjorn.
Mm-hmm.
That and then when she was in the tunnel going up with the elevator and the gravity was going up and down, yeah, that was the same one because it had the
That
crack in the face of the
shit
lightning.
is
Yeah.
crazy,
And then finally he jumps down and he says the line, "Get away from her, you bitch," which is
bro.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
like, it depends on how you want to take it because Bjorn was calling Andy a bitch the whole time through the
Mm-hmm.
movie if you pay attention. Or he says bitch or calls him bitch a couple times. So that's why he says it kind of like hesitant, like it
Yes.
was like language he was picking up from everybody else. But putting it in there, I felt like it was one of those like one too many homages, like leave that
Mm.
shit alone.
Now, do you think it because this was weak Andy or not smart guy Andy? Because I think smart guy Andy would have said that shit cool as shit.
I don't think he would have said
Cause
that at all.
yeah, I mean, smart guy Andy was just
Yeah,
too like
nah,
relaxed. Like
nah,
bro was
bro.
maniacal. Like bro was
Yeah,
just sitting there like,
yeah,
Wait, what
nah,
did he
he's
say
too.
when they were running? He was like, I timed it perfectly. I
Even
knew
better
you
than the
would.
last. He said, "I timed it even better than the last time," and he said that specifically because he was standing there closing the door when Aileen Wu got the one on her face when they were running out of the hallway, and so he was stating that, and that was something that I picked up on the second time that I watched it. Was him saying that, and I'm like, that's why he said it because the first time they were being chased by the things, and like he closed it, and it was not and whatever. Yeah, but that was perfect. She's like, you almost closed the door. And he's like, no, but I didn't. I closed it, exactly at the best time, even better than last time. Wouldn't you
Bro,
agree?
bro is
Yep.
smart.
Mm-hmm.
Bro is smart, man. I'm telling you, this man Andy really was that guy.
He fucking got the Steve Urkel upgrade, dog. He was fucking.
Mm-hmm.
Then I ain't do that. He was. My man hit him with it. You closed the door on him. Then I do that. He hit him.
I did love the dynamic between him and Rook, though. Like the man in the chair talking to like a pawn kind of thing, or like a newly
Yep.
acquired member.
Yep.
Like, yeah, go do this shit.
At first, it
I
was
was,
like, "Oh, you were sent to set up the mines. I am humbled to be in your presence. But guess what, dog? You work for us now. What's up? Gotta tell you what to do. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. You gotta do this. You gotta do this."
listen, bro. He said, "Wailu Tani in, Wailu Tani out." You already know what time it is.
That shit look like a PlayStation Portal or PlayStation Portable PSP UMD. They fucking put in my man's that little fucking disc and shit.
Bro was season out, bro. But nah, it was creepy
That
too.
was fucking
It was
GameCube
creepy.
disc. My man's in the room. He's fucking upgrading.
Oh crap,
Oh
bro!
shit, bro.
Niggas is dying around this man. This man's out here just hands in the air, just.
I'm just getting upgraded. But yeah, dude, and then pretty much once they get back up, homegirl, well, they almost injected her with the stuff because like they were like, yeah, she's fucked up, she's dying, and he's like, here, use this. It's like she shares like 25% genome with a rat, and it worked on the rat, and it says like, no, don't use it on her. So she uses it on herself like a dum dum. They get back to the ship. Dude's like, let me pilot the ship. The android on the space station. Let me pilot the ship. She's like, nah, we cool. And
We
then,
good.
the whole fucking Romulus and Remus starts crashing into the into the rings while they escape on the Corbin 4 or whatever. The Corbin 4, and then so they're putting everybody, pregnant chick, in her little stasis pod so she can go to sleep, and then Rain's plugged Andy up so he can take to the long nap so they can go all to Yavaga and shit like that. Well, Rain is going to hop into her pod, and I guess it's a good thing that it happened before she did. Homegirl's pod starts going off, like stasis canceled, condition critical. She opens it, and like you see her neck, and she's got like a black dot on her neck where she shot herself with the Z01, and then as she pulls her out, she is like massively pregnant.
Yeah,
and then
bro.
homegirl proceeds to give birth to what I was assuming was going to be a xenomorph egg. which would have kind of been a little cooler. But it was
at first.
it was a sack. It was a pod. It was an egg sack of some sort.
I thought it was like a seed or some shit. Like,
yeah, dude. Yeah, that's what it looked like. And homegirl's like, "Get it away from me!" So Rain grabs it, picks it up. She's running with it, but she has to stop because it's like secreting acid.
Yeah, which is like crazy to see it. Yeah, I was like, bro, like, how can you even like touch that thing?
Yeah, so she dropped it and she's trying to grab like the cryo freeze thing. It falls through the deck. She runs down to the next level, and before she can even get down there, whatever the fuck this thing is, because when she first saw its face, it kind of looks like a human, but it's actually more so the face of an engineer from Prometheus and stuff. And so when she gets down to the bottom where it falls through, it's just like a cup of like acid sitting there. And little babies already crawled out and crawled off. So,
mutated.
So it says that something happens in the cargo bay, and so the ship turns off autopilot, which wakes Andy up. Andy goes into, he's getting ready to go up and go check. So homegirl Isabella Merced, the chick that was pregnant that gave birth to the pod, she's like sitting against the wall and stuff, and the next thing you know, she looks up and she sees the fucking thing that she gave birth to.
I hate that shit.
Dude, it looks so creepy, dude. It's called the Offspring, is what it's called, and it's ultimately it's a mix between an engineer and a xenomorph. Yeah, and this thing had already like rapidly grew like so big. Homegirl like checks her chest. Yeah, checked her chest. She was like secreting the goo, the black goo, I guess. That like the baby.
Yeah, that's what confused me at first. I was like, wow, like so like she's already like producing what like he already was like ready to feed. Like bro was straight up like
because the way he came up to her and stuff, and she was all like no and everything, like he knew, like, and then he basically fucked up Andy. Because Andy's all like, no,
bro.
He's like crosswalk. Andy's like, no, don't. This is what the aliens use. No, and then that motherfucker got murked, got taken out.
Bro said,
one snack. He said,
"You seen Wolverine? I got those claws."
He went with the elbow, dog. It was an elbow.
That was an elbow. I thought he had the claws on him, bro.
No, it was a spike on the elbow. He said,
"It's even better. It's even better."
And then fucking knocked him out. So he's fucking.
Season out.
He's that fucking PS2 reboot. Waiting for
too much
go,
milk. Bro is bleeding out milk for real.
Or PlayStation 1, you're like waiting for it to go, reset the disc and make sure
the fans are going crazy right now. What's happening?
Yeah. So what Rain gets back up to the top and sees that this thing is now feasting on its own mother because it's got its own little inner mouth that opened up and stuff. And then so there's this is the whole like third act thing, and like a lot. This is the part of the movie that I feel like is really gonna like make or break the movie for people. Is the third act. So they have their little battle and stuff. Back and forth. They have a lot of callbacks to other movies into it and shit like that. So she gets back down to the bottom trying to find this thing or whatever, and it's down there with her, and she's pretty much cornered. She was trying to drop the cargo. She was like hooked on, and she was trying to drop the cargo, so when it dropped, it would take her out. Yeah. So this ends up not happening because the thing corners her. So she's right next to the pod it came out of. She kicks it. The acid melts the bottom of the cargo, sucks them out into space. There's like a whole jump scare moment, which I was kind of like, man, this is dumb.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about when I saw this. I was like, this nigga is like dying right now because like, he get hit with like particles and rocks and shit. Like, I'm like,
probably got some of the acid on him or something like that.
Like bro dying. He's so dying dumb. Anyway.
And then she was able to yank the cord to pull the shipping container down, and she somehow makes it all the way through that.
Zip lines up and shit.
And then that, you see, the coolest part of that whole fight is still seeing the Romulus and Remus station crashing into the rings and shit like that.
Felt like some Mass Effect shit, low key. Like
that shit was so cool looking.
That shit was dope, bro. I was like, that's the shit I want to see happen, which I'll never see.
The ship takes off, and then she's all like, she puts Andy in a pod. She says like, "Hey, I'm gonna fix you." And then she does a whole, like, Stardate log, 1412, is the last survivor.
Star
of,
Command. She
this
fucking bars.
this is the last survivor of the, just like how they did in the first movie or whatever. She's like, I'm on my way to Yavaga. I don't know if I'll make it there, but da-da-da-da. I mean, you got enough cryo fuel. You had enough for 5 people.
I mean, you're a child, bro. As long as you have enough food, you're going to live. Like, what, you gonna age 9 years, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they had to all have 9 years. So 5 times 9, that's fucking 45, right?
Yeah, she good. She living
54?
Regardless.
54, 6 something? I almost sound dumb on the internet. Whatever.
She's alive, though. That's all that matters. See, the one thing I like that they didn't do, I hated when I think it was David that violated Shorty at the end. When he turned 45. Her in... When he turned her into,
so she would ultimately, since everybody else had died, she would have up to 45 years of cryo juice, to just stay.
Cryo juice,
whatever, man. Cryo free sauce. I don't know what the fuck you call it.
But I mean, like, it's better than what happened. Like, David is the one who turned his chick into like organ donors, right?
I mean, pretty much, yeah. He used Shaw was the only human he had to use, and that's how he ultimately manufactured, I guess, his
mate shift,
his eggs. Yeah, was right. Through her. But I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that goes into that as well, because like some people really break down like a lot of what everything is, and they look deeper into like some of like things that were removed and stuff like that. So some people don't believe ultimately that David made the xenomorphs. He like made his own version because he was hybridizing and splicing and stuff like that, and was doing experiments. And the protomorph technically is what I've always known it as. Is the protomorph is what he makes in that movie, because the way it doesn't come out as a chest burster like normal. It comes out like formed already, and it just grows. And it's not as biomechanical. It's like a lot more like smoother and stuff.
Yeah, because this thing in this movie was like
more, it actually seems to me like a lot more like this one is
yeah.
So what it seemed like smoother or whatever, but
because the one in this movie had the gold, he had the diamond teeth, bro. It was metaled out, chromed up.
They brought back the chrome teeth. Yes, in Covenant he did not have the chrome teeth. Yes.
Tail was crazy.
The xenomorphs have never looked better, dude. I don't feel like those.
I feel like that's what they're supposed to look like, though. Better. Like, yeah, I don't know if like the teeth thing was like a thing.
Yeah, no, they're supposed to have metal teeth. That's where we're like in the first movie, they haven't used that actual design again. That's the big chap. That's where it's like got a see-through skull and stuff like that. It's like got an actual human skull kind of at the front and everything like that, but it's see-through, translucent on the top. Every movie after that one has altered the design of the head, and none of them have had that version of it again. And like while we don't see like the actual big chap, we see like a cool like dead version that almost reminisces like the old like prop, what it looks like now, like fucking just fucked up and old and shit like that. So I mean, it's cool, man. I mean,
I feel like I also like these face huggers in this one. Like I feel like they were just more aggressive, which I like. Like we talked about how like I think like you said it was interrupted, but I like how it was still feisty. Like that shit was like I'm not dying, and they were just like all over the place. Like there were just so many of these shits.
So another cool detail about that. So when they were speaking earlier, the kids about cryo sleep and stuff like that, they were talking about when you wake up, like it's like we're gonna do this now, and then tomorrow you're gonna wake up with a hangover on Yavaga. Is what he said. And so basically like when you're in cryo sleep, and we see it in all the other movies, waking up, people are like throwing up, and they have to like get used to like being back to
awake
being
again.
normal. Yeah, they're like all fucked up. So when you see the face huggers in that scene when they first come out of cryo sleep, they're almost like they're like waking up. They're like not
not even like aggressive.
Frozen.
They're like swimming and shit.
Yeah, and they're like getting
their
back.
blood
but
together.
Once they get through that fucking door, dog, it's over with. They're fucking
track stars.
Dude, they're like the fucking hands in fucking Dark Souls. Elden Ring. Fucking,
oh my god, bro!
Yeah,
I
the
hate
finger
those
hands,
shits, bro.
dude. That's
oh my god,
dude, that's what it makes me think of. But they made them scary again because, dude, like
yes.
the first movie, you see the face hugger more than you see the xenomorph. Like that thing is on that dude's face more than anything else in the movie. And it like, that whole movie is about mystery and it invokes a lot of fear of like the unknown and like not knowing anything about it. And so like they showed off the xenomorph a little too much. It got like too actiony, and the facehugger became too much of like a plot pusher. Like it just
Right.
kind of like makes the story progress. Oh, there's the egg. Oh, that happens. Okay, now cool. We're gonna go to the xenomorphs. So
Yep.
this brought it back to like it's crazy how they were using. They took the original xenomorph, they took its blood, they made this DNA, the black goo or whatever, and then they were able to 3D print, molecularly 3D print face huggers, just freeze them, and cryo freeze and shit like that. And then so that was crazy how many they had and just making
Bro.
them scary and creepy, just
And I do like it was gross as fuck, but I do like how when they gave us, though you always gotta get the lore breakdown of what was going on and shit. And the face hugger is just like they're like, oh, it's not killing her, like it's giving her enough to breathe and like do it shit, and you just see it just like she's breathing. It's like it's just like it was so gross, but it was like cool to fucking finally see because you always see like get it off, rip it off, and they just rip the shit off and like or like it's already done its
Yeah,
deed.
that's what happened in Covenant. Yeah, because the one, other than the one that got the dude that just looked into the fucking egg like a dumbass, the other guy, he was like, "Oh, get it off," and I think that's where he cuts it or whatever, and then it like melts his face, and he puts the patch on his face that was melting his face. But that one still impregnated him because that's how the one ended up on the ship.
Yep.
And then like in this one, like I said, like they were waking up. So in that scene when they're in there and like it jumps at them, and it can't really get them and
Yeah,
stuff
it
like
missed.
that.
It fucking
Yeah,
was like it couldn't even
usually,
like extend fully.
yeah,
If you saw
usually
like,
it would
weird.
just fucking get them, like it's
Bro
like,
had the whiskey dick
boom.
for real.
So
Bro had the whiskey dick.
so like they were trying to wake up and everything, and even homeboy like hitting them, like they didn't
Oh,
nobody
yeah,
typically
they were.
can just whack.
He was whacking them shits off, bro.
Yeah. So he was fucking. So he was getting them. Yeah, it was crazy. Oh, he zapped homeboy in the face too. And he wow.
And they didn't
Well,
like kill him to that degree. They just knocked that shit out,
knocked
which is
him
kind
out.
of crazy.
Yeah.
Nah,
But
fuck that, bro.
I feel like it was a really good movie for me up until the third act with the whole creature being.
Listen, bro, they should have just let the seed drop and like just have it be like a mystery. Like have that shit just be like, what the fuck is that?
Did that thing even could it do the same? Could it survive in space? Could it cocoon itself? Did we
that
know what
shit
could
would have
happen?
been cool as fuck. Like now we just got some like here it is and now it's dead. Cause now his mom got eaten, so it's not like she could like have some cool like lore behind it.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what a sequel to Romulus could be. They have the Z01 on the fucking ship, and that dude Rook sent out a message because he said in 6 months they will be here to collect the samples from you, and she said no. So they already know about the samples, they already know about who's got it and what ship it's going to be on. So she's on her way to Yavaga and she's got this shit. What could happen if somebody gets a hold of it that doesn't need to get a hold of it, and this could be like a paradise that they could ruin with the black goo that they have. Yeah, dude, there's some shit like you gotta think about that and stuff.
Now, with this, do you think the black goo would have the same effect? I guess like on a non-pregnant chick, because I mean I don't know if the baby even survived that drop.
So,
Because that's where I was questioning it.
That's where I look at Prometheus, and I mean like there's two different things that occur in Prometheus, because the one guy falls face first into the goo on the ground, like he just fucking falls face first into the shit. So after the little, oh my god, I forgot what it's called already. After the worm wraps around the guy's arm and he cuts it and it sprays the acid on him and melts his into his face, he falls into the stuff, and it pretty much mutates him into like this fucking super strong freak and stuff. So that is the only like super like direct contact you see of the pathogen on a person, other than in like in
what about
Covenant,
the ear thing too, where it went into his ear? That was a spore, though, right?
Well, that's the spore. Yeah, that's the pathogen affecting like affecting wildlife and stuff like that, like or affecting the plant life of the planet. Yeah,
Because it made the plant hostile, basically, at
yeah,
that point.
yeah. It killed everybody off, and anything else it would have been pretty much mutated with, or spliced with, or accelerated its DNA to do something similar to what the overall pathogen. Because we don't
Because he
know
birthed
truly.
a facehugger, really, not facehugger, something. He birthed some shit because when he got in his ear, he started getting sick.
That is the
He,
blood. They call it either blood burst or back burst or something like that. But it's a neomorph that comes out the white things. Yeah, those are
yeah,
neomorphs. Yeah.
because they still
Yep.
like did the same process of like a facehugger almost, but like minus the facehugger.
Yeah, yeah. And in some way, shape, or form, the pathogen is the root of life or the way to create life in some way, shape, or form. There's like a long lore and there's like a long history that goes into it because some people even break it down to like the deacon, which is what we see in Prometheus, which is the thing at the end, which is not a xenomorph, but it is a type of xenomorph. In some way, shape, or form, whenever somebody is like affected with this pathogen, there is an acceleration of genetic, you know, their gene makeup or whatever. So when we look at Prometheus, the Shaw's husband gets the drop. David puts the drop, just one drop, and he gets affected. She can't conceive birth. She can't, because she's not able to, create a baby or whatever.
Yeah,
but when
she
they
gets
have
that whole. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, but while he's infected, they have sex and then she gets pregnant, but it's not a normal baby. And like what is kind of crazy is like when it comes out, it does look like at first almost like a giant sperm, but then it's a squid like kind of fucking
Yep.
thing, and then it grows rapidly into what they call the trilobite. But the trilobite is in some way, shape, or form, it looks like a it works like a face hugger because ultimately it attacks the engineer and
Yep.
plants the shit in the engineer, and
And
then
just to
it
get that
becomes the
cycle
deacon.
going. So that
Yeah,
black goo is basically the like I feel like it is like the substance of life at that point. Because
yeah,
even
yeah,
like what Rook said, he was like that's gonna be the key to advanced humans.
yeah. Because when you see in Romulus, once you see there's a hologram of the jar of
Mm-hmm.
the black goo from Prometheus, which is in the room, which supposedly that room is supposed to be like you see the mural on the wall, which is it looks like a xenomorph or a deacon or something like that, and there's more to it that you can actually see, like ancient. It looks like fucking like ancient facehuggers of some sort and engineers
Ancient
and shit.
face huggers, hell yeah.
Yeah. The giant face in the room is supposed to be the face of the first engineer to give birth to a deacon, and the vial is supposed to mimic the deacon's blood, but I don't know if it's actually the deacon's blood or if it's like a
Mm.
manufactured version of it, and then therefore, since it's not the actual blood and it's manufactured, it ends up turning into xenomorphs, which is probably a much more hostile version of the creature than the deacon.
I mean, I feel like they're all fucking just finished their little shits, bro.
There's a lot of lore and stuff behind this. I mean, they made it a lot more complicated than it needs to be. Because I mean, my question was, how did a ship with a bunch of eggs
Mm-hmm.
land on a planet, and now we're here.
Yeah,
But
just one that's floating randomly.
this movie is such a good movie, though. It looks good. It looks
Yes.
amazing. I don't feel like it's like there's anything super bad about it other than the ending, and that's gonna only bother you mostly. Feel like a stupid alien fan like me. So.
I just feel like it just wasn't necessary for
This
it.
is what I was
at the
going to get
ending.
into. At least before we get out of this, this is my main thing. This is why I was disappointed in this movie because, like we said earlier, Alien 3 is the only Alien movie. Now, when I grew up, there was a line of Alien toys, like a complete line of Alien action figures. But Alien 3 was the only movie that touched on the factor of when a facehugger attaches itself to an animal that is like of different, whatever the host is for the facehugging process, the
That's gonna be.
xenomorph that comes out will change like how it is. So in 3, it's a dog
Yep.
because the facehugger in the script it was supposed to be an ox originally, but they changed it to a dog. So it like walks on 4 legs and stuff like that. We talked about this in the last time. What I was
That shit is
hoping
so
for,
cool.
dude, what I was hoping for with this being a research station and stuff like that, there was gonna be like animals on there, and they were gonna run into like fucking crazy xenomorph animal hybrids, like the toys when we grew up, like, or when I grew up, they had like praying mantis xenomorph, they had gorilla xenomorph, cheetah, jaguar, they had like all these
What
crazy
the
different.
fuck?
Yeah, dude, like they were almost doing experiments or something on them. Yeah, but it's like a
I
whole
mean, they
line
did
of
the
animal
rat
toys.
shit too, so that's why I'm like, that would have made sense to see like a rat just like fucking lurking in the
That's
corner.
what I was thinking too, like rat xenomorph, like just something like crazy, like the way it would just look would be different, and
Mm-hmm.
they would have to fight this thing, or even I would have even preferred something like a praetorian, which is like the royal guard, which is what something turns into to protect the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Ridley Scott doesn't like the queen, and Ridley Scott was involved with this movie. There was a hive, so I felt like there should have been
Yeah.
something like that. But I think that's just their natural instinct to build a hive and probably wait for something to turn into a queen or something
Right,
like
it's
that. I
probably
have
one of
no
them,
idea.
right? I
Yeah.
guess like one of them would turn into one of it. I
Yeah,
guess.
that's what I assume. I mean, we don't really know. That's not been like truly in at least in movie lore, like explored, because the only thing we see is in the first movie a deleted scene, and so this makes it iffy if it's canon or not.
Mm.
The xenomorph, when it takes the people away, there's two of them, and they're like morphing. One of them is like strapped up like in the other movies, like to the wall, but it looks like the other one is like turning into an egg itself. So it looks like the xenomorph
Mm.
has a way of like replicating its own, way to replicate, and then
Because that's the
that would
thing. If
like
like there's
more.
no face hugging going on, they're still developing. Like they're still like reproducing. It's
Yeah,
like it's not like they just stop their process.
there's something. I mean, he's got to give. So I mean, I don't know how a queen comes into play in number two, and that's where like that kind of shakes the lore up, because in the first movie we just see the first one, and there's like nothing else explained on it. But then
Right.
once you throw the second one in and you put a queen in, and it makes the eggs, that completely changes the story of the first movie, because now you're like, how did the eggs get on the ship? If
Mm-hmm.
the queen, if the eggs were on the ship and they had just one alien in the first movie, and now you got the second movie, and they fucking now have a queen in the thing making eggs, but they had eggs on the ship. How did the eggs get on the ship? So doing that in the second movie kind of fucked with like how hard
All
it's going to
right.
be to explain or create that story for how that whole scenario occurred.
Because if I'm not mistaken, like they will kill each other too. So I feel like them like basically like getting a queen wouldn't be like too crazy. Like someone like adopts the queen role.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like haven't they killed each other? Or maybe I'm like thinking of it like when like Ridley was killing them. But like I felt like they would like they turn on each other in like some of the alien movies. Like they turn on their own kind before.
No, the only examples of that, at least that I've seen, are in Alien 4 Resurrection, when they are there's three of them and they're stuck, and then they're trying to escape. They kill the one, so it melts
Oh,
to the
huh.
floor, so they escape. Yep, because they're trapped in
Okay,
there.
so that's probably what I'm thinking of
And
then. But
and
that was very
also
strategic though.
yeah, and also in Alien versus Predator, the Queen, she's chained up, and they do it to the Queen to melt the bonds on her so she can leave and go kill the Predator and stuff like that.
Now I don't want to linger too much on this. So like,
Yep.
what is the connection with the Alien vs Predator thing? Is that even like it's not canon? I
Non
know,
non-canonical.
non-canonical. I mean, that's
Non-canonical.
cool if like the Predator tried to hunt them, but like that still would just like be so far
So
fetched for me.
just super too long. Don't read. It started as a comic book series like a long time ago. So I mean, it's
Of
just cool
course, that's
shit.
how.
They had a couple video games that came out that some were okay and stuff like that. Some were really good actually. AVP Gold for for PC specifically.
Ooh,
And then
that movie.
the movies, which kind of like whatever. You just watch them. You don't really
Yeah,
fucking.
yeah. I feel like it just never really made any sense. I feel like
You
they're
don't
their
really
own
take anything
entities
from
at
them.
this point.
And then yeah, that's pretty much it with those.
I mean, the alien lore is too deep for me, though, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, because like the fact that like you don't know where they like, do you even know where they fucking came from? Like they have a fucking planet, like
See, that's exactly where we don't know, because is it the Black Goo? Do they have a planet with a queen that already made them, and they just found them, and then their
right.
blood makes that? Wait, like what? So it's like we'll probably never fucking know. They'll probably just fuck around and probably just throw 1,000 different directors at these
They're gonna be
movies.
found
That's all.
another ship. It's gonna be another fucking ship floating
Ah,
around.
you never
Whale
know, dude.
Nutani needs these shits. What is
Yeah.
like so? This takes place in between. The first
The
and the
first
second.
and second one. Yep.
So we're still going to get the outcome of David planting his shit.
That's even way before this. We don't know, because that's the problem. Like, Alien movies, so the first one really good, the second one super fucking really good. Then they all became kind of like wonky. The third one, like, people are like whatever, and then the fourth one also kind of like, people are whatever. So AVP and AVP2, people also are like, oh, what the fuck. So then when we come back around and we're like, oh shit, Ridley Scott's coming back to Alien, and people got Prometheus, a lot of people are like, yo, this is garbage. What the fuck is this? I think it's a great movie. They do a bunch of dumb shit, yes, I understand, but ultimately, like, I don't know. There's just something about that movie to me that's just really good. Yeah, and then, it also was like I said, it was like, this is going to be a prequel to Aliens, and it's like you see the Deacon, and I'm like, this didn't explain nothing. How did the eggs get on the ship? This didn't explain nothing. Like, what the fuck? And then we got Alien Covenant, and I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. And, then we're like, okay, we don't see nothing that happened, really. We get very vague description of what David's been doing. Like, we just come to find out that, like, he's just like, okay, I did experiments, I got eggs. Look at the egg. Look at the egg. Oh, look, it's kind of like we're back to Aliens, everybody. We got fucking xenomorph. Oh, but then the movie ends, and he's like, there's one thing I gotta perfect, my queen. It's like, that doesn't fucking answer anything. How did the fucking eggs get on the fucking ship in the first movie? That's all I want to know. I don't give a fuck about the rest right now.
That's perfect. I think that's the perfect way to wrap it up. That's the perfect. What would you rate this? How many facehuggers we rating this?
Oh, fuck, man. Really, dude, I'd have to say 7 out of 5. Or, not, well, hold on. 7.5 out of 10 for my personal actual final score. And then if it was unbiased, like if they had changed the end, and the end was like what I wanted, like maybe they fought against a fucking giant snake fucking xenomorph or some shit, you know what I'm saying? Fuck, dude, give me a turtle xenomorph, something, nigga. I don't give a fuck. I'll take anything. Let's go. But other than that, then we got, I'll take anything. But other than that, we got the Offspring. So if I got, it'd be 10 out of 10.
Listen, I'm giving it a 7 just because I didn't need this Slender Man looking this splice looking motherfucker to come up at the end, bro. If the sea would have fell and it just cocooned itself in space, that shit would have been cool as fuck. I would have been like, ooh, you fucked up, bitch.
It's a thumbnail right there. Popcorn bucket, matey.
But fucking, I think it's still a good movie. Steve watched it. I think Muggs is gonna watch it. I don't know if he did or not.
Well, he did.
I think he did. But you know what? We're going to get their opinions on it. But please follow them at Steve is XXL New Type, right?
Yep.
He's no longer BBL. Yeah.
Nope,
He's back to his normal name now.
Yep.
Follow at Mingma Gunpla, the GOAT. And Goose,
Mingma
where can people find you at?
Gunpla,
shit, don't forget the underscore.
With the underscore. Yep. You can always find me at a Grandfather Goose. I'm going to be posting my Wingo Bingo soon, hopefully, maybe, if my rabbit stops eating my fucking airbrush cords.
Don't worry, bro. You can always find me at Gunplagoon, and we're going to do more Gunpla episodes, but this had to be done. We had to talk about the glory of Alien Romulus and the Facehuggers. Scromulus. And follow Gunpla and the Goonies for new videos and maybe cool opinions on Gunpla shit. But without further ado, we bid you adieu, hoes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Shit, my fucking mouse is fucking